Christmas, 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 Christmas.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Junkyard. I'm the Junkernaut, and today I just want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays to wherever you are in the world. I hope it's all going awesome. God bless us, everyone. Today I'm going to be your personal elf trainer, and I'm going to train you up in all things merriment. So we're going to make some Christmas presents today, we're going to have some laughs, and we're going to look good while we're doing it. People are always talking to me, and they're just saying, you know what Christmas makes me think of? And they say, England. I'm like, wow, okay. And they say, you know what England makes me think of? English longbows. And again, I just say, wow, that is really random and doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's quite fortuitous because that is what we are going to be making today, so it fits right into the Christmas theme. Here, this is a Schedule 40 1-inch piece of PVC that's also quite festive. So all we're going to need is this single piece of PVC that I already mentioned, a heat gun, some paracord for a string, and a couple of pieces of wood in order to flatten the limbs. We probably are going to need some kind of file as well, but I'm sure there's different ways you could get around that. I'm going to be using my custom heating and flattening jig, which are going to make it a little bit easier, but are really not necessary. If you want to see how I made those, you can check out the video I'll post in one of the corners here. I always forget which one it is. A longbow is almost straight when it's unstrung. There's very little pre-bend, there's no recurve in the limbs, but if we were to string it just like this, without any heat forming at all, and if you bent it past its natural flexibility point, you would probably have lots of little pieces of PVC shattering and flying into your skin and eyes. So that's a good time, whatever you want to do on your Saturday evenings. Mine is right at about 5 feet, so we're at 60 inches. Right here we've got one mark at 25 inches, because that's just the center point, and then we got marks on either side just to a couple inches on either end. It looks like we maybe lost too much heat as I was moving it over here. While you're waiting for your PVC to cool down, it's a good time to just check your Facebook, take a Christmas selfie, just to let everyone know that you're alive, stuff like that. But I said earlier that the piece of PVC we were using was 5 feet long, i.e. 60 inches. And then I later said that the center portion was at 25 inches. And that means that one side of the bow is much longer than the other, like 10 inches longer. I could either at this point cut the excess off of the one limb and then just make it a 50-inch bow instead of 60. So I don't really want to, but I think I have to heat it up a third time and fix it. Kris Kringle! It's the Santa rap. Now we're rapping while we're waiting for the bow to be done. Getting flattened, yeah. Yeah, deck the halls, get merry, brah. It's gonna be the best Christmas of all. Well, praise the Lord. I can hardly believe it, but we finally got the bow all heated and bent into the right shape. It might just be a Christmas miracle. Sorry, that one was a bit of a stretch. Honestly, at this point, we probably could just put the string points in and actually pretty much call it good. I'm going to try and do the fold over technique that I use on the limbs a lot of times when I'm doing the recurve bows, which will give it, I think, a little bit more power. But I'm not a scientist. I work at Burger King making flaming whoppers. I make paper hats. Would you like an apple pie with that? And so we just need to make a kind of string point right here. So we're going to file in a groove, kind of like that. So I've pretty much shown how to make the bowstring in every one of these videos so far, but it's very easy. You want to go ahead and burn the ends just to make sure it's going to be all kind of attached together and not come unraveled. And you take it, you just make a little bunny ear, just like when you were learning to tie your shoes. And then you loop it over onto itself, and then you pull out the loop from the middle. And so then once you've got it looped onto one side, you kind of take your string all the way to the other side of the bow here. Come on. There we go. And then we're going to do the same thing we did on the other side. And Bob's your uncle, and Robert is your mother's brother. You're going to have to cut another piece of string because this one is putting way too much bow into the bow. I usually make recurves, and I guess you need a little bit longer string for a longbow. It's definitely a fairly strong draw, but it is shootable even for an elf. It looks like it's about 60 pounds of draw. Definitely some things that we can and will do to make this build a little bit more finished and pretty, since it is going to be a present. But let's go ahead and do a quick test fire. I've got a veined arrow and a couple of fletched arrows. Haven't marked the center point or anything, and it's pretty cold, but let's see how it's shooting. Oh, that was a weird one. There we go. Whew. The cold fingers with a pretty strong draw and that flicking you get off the string, it really stings. So I think bow seems to be shooting fine. Most of the misses are just user error. So let's go ahead and finish it up. Now you have to be really careful when you're sanding PVC bows, because you don't want to get any chips or cracks or rubs in there that are going to be exaggerated by the stresses, which could make it break. So the kind of happy middle ground is to do a light sanding, but to use something that's a really fine. So I think this is 220. Spray paint is only supposed to really work between a certain temperature range, and we're definitely below that today. Let's go for it. Let's see what happens. Honestly, it feels fine. Who needs instructions anyways? I found a nail right here. I don't know what it was for originally, but now it's going to hold up that bow while I paint it. What did you expect? Of course it's a candy cane. But it turned out pretty good, and definitely looks like a candy cane. There's one or two more things that we want to do real quick, but they're going to have to wait because I'm actually just getting ready to leave and go to a Christmas Eve service, which is obviously why I'm wearing my Sunday finest. You're thinking, Ian, that is so perfect. What could we possibly still need to do? And while I agree with you that it is perfect, there are two things that we do need to take care of really quick. The first one is just to do a paracord wrap for the handle portion. And then we're also going to put a knock point onto the string itself, and I'm going to show you how to do both of those right now. So the wrap that I'm going to do on this handle is the second simplest wrap that I know how to do. You start in the middle of your string, and you go over and you twist it all the way around, and then you go back under, and you twist it again, then you go back over the top. You just want to try and do your best to keep them twisting the same way. I'm going to burn the ends just like I normally do to keep it all together and glue it down like this, hoping that this little extra ridge will be just enough to act as a kind of pseudo arrow rest. Obviously it's not a big long one, but it just keeps it off your hand a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and put on our knock point on the string. Now I'll be honest, this confuses the jingle bells out of me. Most of the time when I'm making a project or making a video about something, I like to try and find my own way to do it. I don't like to watch a lot of other people's videos because I don't want to be purposely copying somebody else. However, in this case, because I said I always got confused by the way that I've been taught to tie knocking strings, I just looked up really quick to see if there was an easier way, and this sounds much easier to me. Because we're going to take the string that we have, and we're actually going to try and kind of pull it through some of this hot glue on the top, and another one on the bottom, and we're just going to rinse and repeat all the way back and forth until we've got a nice little piece of string kind of built up right here that's going to keep the arrow in place. It's done! Except it's dark outside now, so we gotta wait till tomorrow to shoot it. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. It was a blast to make and shoot this bow. It really makes me feel like kind of in the Robin Hood era, which I guess, you know, gives a whole new meaning to Robin Hood and his merry men. If you guys like this video, please do at least 2 of the following. You know, go down and click that like button, or give me your firstborn child, you know, or comment below, or add me into your inheritance. You know, subscribe, or just send me an unmarked check. Any of these, it's your choice really. Just do what feels right. I'm always happy to bring you guys bow builds because they seem to be one of the most consistently well received things on my channel. I do want to point you in the direction of this guy right here, the Simo guitar. This is honestly one of my favorite builds of all time. I think it's one of the best videos I've made, and it needs a little bit of love. So if you guys want to go and check this out, follow this link over there, like the video, share it around, because this thing was so much fun to make, and actually is really dangerous and deadly. Check out my email below if you guys are interested in a commissioned build so I don't end up ho-ho homeless. As always, I've got a ton of projects on the horizon, but that's it for today. Have your elf a merry little Christmas, and if it's any other time of the year that you're watching this, I hope you have a great day anyways. Much love and peace, guys.